Let's get into it. Coach Colin here. Let's just jump right into it. There's been an uptick in violence and robbery and just all out crime with the illegal immigrant population because, of course, if you go into a place, a country, massive country, wealthy country, no one knows who you actually are. Maybe you go, five of you go, you're all a part of the same gang, and possibly then another five, then another five. That's what seems, I know that sounds like, if that was coming from someone else, that sounds xenophobic, that could sound racist if it was coming from a white person. That is actually what's currently happening. There seems to be a rash of Venezuelan people, gang members. Shouldn't even just say people, because I'm sure there's some nice hardworking ones, but this seems to be a gang that has swarmed in, and they are doing all sorts of terrible things. Like, I got this one clip here where they are actually rushing into a house. I'm going to show you a couple of others. Then I'm going to show you something that Trump said that people thought was absolutely ridiculous, and he's starting to be proven right. I think he's been proven right this entire time, honestly. And then I'm going to show a little interaction between a reporter and a Democratic congressman or senator. Sorry. All right, so let's start here. Can't show you all of these clips all the time, but just wanted to show you what's going on here. So this is a guy forcing his way into a house. This is through a Ring camera that you're seeing all this. Now, a lot of these people are saying that they're hearing Venezuelan accents. I am not blessed enough to be able to tell the difference. What happened in this situation was quite bad, although it did happen very quickly. What actually happened was there was a woman with her kids there. They came in. It said that they hurt the kids during the robbery. And it's just wild. Three men just rushed into the house. And the main thing is, and look out for this, is that they were dressed like Amazon workers. That was the thing. They were dressed in Amazon clothing, which is why this gentleman here is wearing a vest. Makes you think he's a delivery person. He rushes in, then two other people come behind him that are waiting, behind cars or whatever, what have you. And that's what happened there. Where was that? That was Aurora, Colorado. That was happening. And I think it's happening in Denver because this happened. Let me just make sure. This also, I believe, happened in Denver. Yep, the Denver police force. So this is wild. I can only show you so much of this. Like, watch this.
That came in, pulled guns. They had white gloves, and they were all...
Now, I can't show you the violence that's about to ensue, but basically the people who own the store, they wanted to rush to the back, fend these people off, be safe. Those men then came into that room, assaulted the owners, which were all women. It was all women who owned this place. 8 of these guys rushed in. Jewelry store. Let me just make sure that's 100% correct. Yeah, it was a jewelry store in Denver. Been in business for 24 years. They ended up assaulting a few of the women. And here are the 8 suspects. But again, happened in Denver. Venezuelans, once again. Very interesting. These are the suspects. Let's see if we can get a closer picture of this. That's pretty much the same size. These are the 8 guys who rushed in there. Wild. Absolutely wild. Again, of course, if no one knows who you actually are, why on earth wouldn't you do something like this? Right? It goes right back to the video I posted of a gentleman who was from Turkey. And he was saying how he's like, I'm a good person. He's like, but other people are not. And he himself, who was coming in illegally, was worried about the security. He's like, how do you know these people aren't bad people? He was very confused by the whole thing, which everyone else is as well. So he'll fit in just fine. The end of that interaction, what I can actually show you is they jumped over while the other ones are assaulting people. And they just started taking stuff. They just started taking stuff left and right. They got away with a lot of merchandise. And it's just crazy. This is happening all over the place. They're looking for 8 Hispanic male suspects. And it is said that these men are Venezuelan. Now, I don't know if they all are, but from the ones who actually did voice themselves and were vocal, the store owner said that they could hear Venezuelan accents. Again, it's absolutely wild what's going on. And this is the worst of it. This one actually confirms a lot of what's been being said. You are not xenophobic for having worries about this. You are not racist either. Listen to this. This is actually chilling. This dude right here that's on camera is 19 years old. Listen to this story.
According to audio recordings read by prosecutors, Mata claims he was recruited to join the gang to commit robberies. But the most shocking claim, the gang has been smuggling guns into city-run shelters.
Tren de Aragua members are smuggling firearms into city shelters inside food delivery packages. That way they'll have to go through the metal detector.
The NYPD is on to this gang.
We've never seen anything really like it. They're so dangerous.
Police say within the past year, there's been an increase of over 300% in robberies and grand larcenies. NYPD Chief of Detectives Joseph Kenny, who was on the 6 o'clock news earlier this week, says it started back in 2022, 2023, when the influx of migrants started arriving. He says these gang members have no respect for law enforcement.
In fact, that they were learning through intelligence debriefings that they're actually instructed to shoot police officers if confronted.
According to the NYPD, that's what happened on June 3rd when the two officers tried to pull Mata over for driving an unregistered scooter the wrong way on a one-way street in East Elmhurst. Mata telling investigators that shooting at police officers is what they do in his home country.
Venezuelan police officers get shot often in my home country because criminals feel there is a chance of getting away.
Oh, man, that is a wild one. Wild stuff, man. Now, a lot of people hate it when Trump says, they're not sending their best and brightest. And it's very true. Illegal alien gunned down 2 NYPD police officers. Both of them passed away. Doing that to police that's within his culture. That's how his culture works. The Venezuelan TDA gang. He works for the Venezuelan TDA gang. So watch out if you see that spray painted anywhere. I don't know what it is that they do. His name is Bernardo Raul Castro Mata, 19 years old. Revealed that firearms are smuggled into New York shelters through food deliveries. How crazy is that? Oh my gosh. The robberies are up 3% in the 3%, I wish. 300% in the past year, and police trace it back to an influx of illegal immigrants flooding New York City. Wow, man. We're starting to see it, right? We're starting to see it. We saw the people flood in. It was like, wow, that was a record month back in December. Record month, 322,000 people. You knew that there was going to be some bad that was going to come of this. I'm sure there's some good. There's some people right now who probably are seeking out a better life and they're ready for their meeting for the asylum and they're not leaving the state that they were told to be in, and they're there and they got their phone and, they're in their hotel room and they're behaving. I'm sure there's a bunch of people like that. But there's also a bunch of people like this kid who are ready to throw down with police officers. We've already seen this in New York City, where there was one guy that fought not one guy, it was a bunch of guys that fought police officers. They got off scot-free because this guy actually shot at police officers. He actually is being detained. Well, thank God for that. Hopefully they keep him, even though he's giving them information. But the fact that the guns are getting in through shelters, into shelters through food deliveries. That's so crazy to me. So not only are these people coming in illegally, but also they have figured out how to get firearms and get them into the shelters. You see what kind of breeding ground Biden has made? I hope Trump knows about this, because right now we're about an hour and 15 minutes away from the debate. It's going on today. If you didn't know, it's going to be on CNN. It's probably going to be very unfair, I'm going to be honest with you. But I hope Trump knows about a little something about this stuff. This is wild stuff. And again, This is the same things that people said could happen, and they got called xenophobic, you're worrying, conspiracy, all of those things. And Trump, he was saying stuff like this.
Nobody has any idea where these people are coming from, and we know they come from prisons. We know they come from mental institutions, insane asylums. We know they're terrorists. Nobody has ever seen anything like we're witnessing right now. It is a very sad thing for our country. It's poisoning the blood of our country. It's so bad, and people are coming in with disease. People are coming in with every possible thing that you can have.
It's wild because he's right. And I say it's wild because I don't know if you know that whole poisoning the blood comment. I played that in another video. The mainstream media has been very focused on him saying that because what a foul thing for President Trump to say. But in reality, look at what's going on. See, these are the things, these cases, this kid doing this stuff, this is the stuff that the mainstream media is not talking about, which is such a disservice to the people that they're supposed to be informing, right? They're not talking about these cases. They're not talking about how this is all happening. They're not talking about what's going on in New York City. That's something to know about. If you have a shelter in your area, if let's say a school or something, hotel has been cleared out to make room for a shelter, you should know that there's possible illegal firearms in the vicinity. But the mainstream media is not going to tell you that. They're just going to point at Trump and say, can you believe he said poisoning the blood? And let me break down what that actually means, right? Because a country is soil, it doesn't really have blood, but what it does have that courses through the veins of every person is certain values and certain morality. And as you bring in a bunch of people from who knows where, and you know what? It's getting pretty hard to argue the whole they're coming from prisons thing, because a lot of them are acting like that, you know? Man. The fact that they're a gang, like, I don't know if this is a prison gang. Let me just check that real quick. TDE Venezuelan. Like, I know how to spell Venezuelan off the top of my head. Let's be honest here. Venezuelan, let's just say prison gang. Let's see if it's actually a prison gang. I don't know if it'll come up. Oh, man. It is a prison. What? Oh, my gosh. It is a prison gang. I don't know how to say that. Tren de Aega is a Venezuelan prison gang that has expanded its criminal activities across Latin America and the United States. The gang was formed in 2012 among the trade union members of Venezuelan and has since grown into a powerful criminal organization. Holy! This was just I didn't even plan on Googling. I usually have the stuff pulled up prior. I didn't even mean wow, the gang is led by someone named Hector Guerrero Flores, alias Nino Guerrero, who was incarcerated in prison, which served as the organization's de facto headquarters. Whoa. Criminal activity, trafficking, human trafficking, smuggling, arms trafficking, which is why they're able to bring in firearms, bribery, drug trafficking, illegal mining, kidnapping for ransom, money laundering, international expansion, Colombia, Brazil, Peru, Ecuador, Bolivia. So it doesn't even matter. They don't even have to be directly from Venezuela. They can just spread out. You know, like once you do the trip towards the southern border, you can say you're from any of those places, really. Who's going to know? You think a border agent who's grown up his whole life in Arizona is really going to know? He might pick up on accents here and there because he deals with it so much, but he won't exactly know. Bolivia, Panama, Costa Rica, Chile. Man, I always wanted to go to Costa Rica too. Phew. Dangers everywhere, I guess. Notable events. In September 2023, 11,000 Venezuelan police and military personnel stormed the prison to take control of the gang's operation. The gang has been linked to Primeiro Camarado, the capital in Brazil. Holy. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, there you go. And there's more. Fox has even talked about these guys. This is Not even that long ago, March, bloodthirsty Venezuelan gang sets up shop in U.S. Wow. I did not even mean to stop. I just wanted to check real quick. This is wild. Fox have a video? Let's go.
Several suspects in the beating of two New York police.
And Omar Juarez have now been linked by ICE to a violent Venezuelan gang, Tren de Aragua. The two men have pending immigration cases. The judge ordered both held on bail, and keeping them in the system means they won't be deported. This, as New York City officers were warned this week.
Wow, man. I just realized I was also muted while I was talking. I'm pretty sure. I keep doing that. When I stumble onto things randomly, when they're not planned, I get a little frazzled. My bad. Sorry about that. But I was just saying, basically, you probably just saw me miming things. Basically, the same way they were using the prisons in Venezuela, they're able to use the shelters the exact same way. The only difference is the shelter, they can move in and out freely. They can bring things in. Wow, this is wild. This is wild. I can't believe it. Oh, man. And again, for anybody who doesn't even like to hear me talk, I was muted for a second. There you go. A little bit of something for everybody there. But how crazy is that? I was just going to talk about how Trump was saying this the whole time, and it seems like he's right. I was about to go into this whole thing of it seems like he's correct. It seems like it. No, he's exactly correct. Sorry, liberal tears. You'll have to fall on the floor. Liberal tears made of soy. You'll have to just fall on the floor. Somebody else will mop you guys up later on. This is crazy. This is just a brief interaction of, a Democrat representative who's just being dishonest. And it's not even in question after what I just showed you guys.
If you look at the statistics, the crime rate among immigrants is far lower than the crime rate among native-born Americans. So the whole issue is wrong.
Aren't the crimes preventable, though, if these people don't have a right to be here in the first place?
I've said what I'm going to say. If you look at...
Just dishonest. Just straight up dishonest. Not even trying to be honest. Not even trying to have a conversation. Just saying things like that. And I said what I said. I already said what I had to say. Jeez, man. Jeez, I was going to play a little bit of this mainstream media. I don't even feel a need to play. I'll play a little bit.
As to what this would even look like. I mean, it sounds more like a version of Gladiator in America in the year of 2024. But when we're talking about migrants, Donald Trump has referred to them as vermin, dangerous, sick, criminals. And he said that migrants have poisoned the blood of this country. He has also promised the largest deportation program in American history. Those are the words of the former president of the United States. It's going to be up to voters to determine whether it's that sort of rhetoric that they want to install back into the White House in 2025.
Congressman, give us...
What are we supposed to... It's so funny that this guy is saying this after what we just stumbled onto. What is he expecting? Is he expecting people don't want that? See, this is the thing. It's either these people are nefariously dishonest, which I am 70% on that side of things, or they just don't know. He just doesn't know that this is happening. Because maybe you do have the mindset of more votes. but you don't realize that you just let in a huge gang. And who knows how many people have gotten in that are from that organization specifically. Jeez, man. And then again, they're going over that whole, poison the blood thing. Hey, hard to argue with what I just showed you guys. I didn't even mean to stumble onto all that. Wild stuff, guys. So I just wanted to show you guys that and let you guys know that the things that President Trump is saying about these illegal immigrants, obviously it's not all of them. You can't blanket statement all of them like that, but there is a high population of not just, and this is one gang. Months ago, there's another gang that's popping up in, I believe, Michigan. And I think it was a Chilean gang and a Venezuelan gang, and they started connecting, and they became a little bigger within that area. And the Michigan police force, the Michigan department, the president of it actually endorsed Trump because he was saying how they don't have enough power and they're being demonized and they need somebody who's actually going to back the police, and they want police immunity because of the degree of people that they're dealing with. Man, this episode changed. This is supposed to be just a quick episode to show you guys some stuff. This is wild what's going on. Oh my gosh. And given the fact that this gang is real and it's big, that's what we've discovered, right? And this guy actually gave information of how they're smuggling in firearms. 19-year-old, just a kid, not thinking straight, doing bad things. Now he's going to face time, doesn't want to face time. I think we all know how gangs deal with people like him. So, condolences? I don't know. What else is going to happen to the guy? Anyway, let's be real. Anyways, like, subscribe, turn on your notifications, and beware. Beware. And if you're in Texas, you already got it on you. You're good. Anyways, I'm out.